Hello, guys. I feel compelled to come on. I'm not doing it live because I've got quite a lot to say, and pre-recording gives me the opportunity to edit it if I need to, so that I can try and get to the point. So why am I here? I want to talk to you about how you can spot when you're being sold to in an unethical manner. I've got a dog coming to say hello. Hello, Ruby. Hello. Yeah, hang on. Right, dog bounced away for a second. The reason that I'm doing this video is because I know that a couple of you are doing a challenge with a marketing guru at the moment. I've also been into it and had a kind of scout about. I've been joining the lives and seeing what it's all about. And there's a few things that I've spotted that have made me uncomfortable, and they're not unusual. They're used in these kind of challenge launches and in all marketing content really from these kind of people all the time. But I thought that it might be helpful to talk about what I'm seeing. Obviously, I feel very strongly about this, but take what I'm saying as my opinion. You can take it to understand when these tactics are being used on you, and see how you feel about that. Or, if you want to make money really quickly, you can take these tactics and deploy them if you want. It's not for me, but I don't get to tell you how to market your business. So, this is likely to be a bit of a long video. You might want to come back and watch it later. But I'm going to walk you through the key things that are typically used in these launch style sales funnels. So you can spot them. What you do with them is entirely up to you. All right. So let me explore what I've seen so far. So this launch in particular I'm talking about is a challenge launch. So people sign up, they register for the challenge, and then there's 3 days of live training, right? Before that, there's been other exercises and mini videos that you could do before the live training itself starts. And at the end of the challenge is going to be the launch of a program that opens once a year and that costs, I don't know how much it's going to be this time, but it's usually between £1,000 and £2,000 to sign up for. Okay, so that's the outline of what it is. What am I seeing that's making me say, oh God, this is manipulative, it's exploitative, and it's using tactics against people? And this is not the only time I've seen this. It happens over and over and over again. What have I seen that compelled me to record this video? Let me tell you. All right, so number one is that they use kind of mindset stuff to help you over your hurdles. Right? Sounds good, doesn't it? They're using those mindset things to help you over your hurdles so that you will say yes to them. They're not giving you mindset help solely for your advantage. They're giving you mindset help and planting seeds so that when it comes to, will you give me your money and buy this thing, you're like, oh, if I don't, that's a limiting belief why I won't buy that. I get to do this. I don't, I'm empowered now. I've been toxically empowered. And I will buy the thing because I won't be held back by those beliefs anymore. More on that in a moment. And then they use various other tactics. What I see is essentially a slow indoctrination through a period of time to remove all objections from buying. I'm going to be creating a bit more content about this over the next few days because I think this is really important for people to understand so that you can spot it. So, what do I mean? I'm going to talk about 3 sleazy sales stories that these people tell, why they tell them and why I think they're exploitative. Okay, so obviously I had to go and deal with Poppy's barking because I couldn't concentrate. All right, so sleazy sales story number 1 that they tell. I have to hold it up here, otherwise my chin's really fat. Sleazy sales story number 1 is that you can't sell anything without a deadline, right? Now, obviously, we've spoken about deadlines within our sessions together. They are very effective. Yeah, they are a very effective way to get people to take action. And here's why. I'm going to forget about my chin. It's not comfortable. Here's why. When there is a deadline, a few things happen. One, you don't have long to think about whether you want something or not, or what's just happened, what you've just experienced. And I say that because in this scenario, when you're the person being sold to, you're on the receiving end of that exploitation and that pushiness, right? So what generally happens is you're inside this container, there's loads of FOMO going on, you're typically getting some kind of early results. They typically give you something that gives you some kind of early results, but they don't give you long enough to maintain it, to see, whether it's going to give you longer term results. They don't give you time to think about whether all that FOMO and that adrenaline that's coursing through you because you've finally started taking some action is the thing that's driving the change. They don't give you any time to decide, for that adrenaline to come down, essentially, for you to make a choice about whether this is for you or not. The other thing that deadlines obviously do is create scarcity. So for this particular challenge that I'm following at the moment to watch the process, this challenge only happens once a year. So if you're in that adrenaline fueled state and you're really excited and you feel motivated and you're like, I've landed in the right space, I really want this change for myself, there's a fear factor there that, if you don't say yes now, when this deadline's up, it's going to be a year before you can get help again. Very effective, right? You can see why that's really effective. So if you're, ever on the receiving end of one of these sales things, just try and give yourself some space to think about how much you want it, really want it and need it, and how much adrenaline is contributing to your drive to say yes. Number two, number two of the sleazy sales stories that are told is that people don't value what they don't pay for. Why is this a sleazy sales story? Well, because it's not true, first of all. It's designed to make you feel better about selling. It's designed to make you feel like you can slap a high price tag on things and people will value what you have to offer more. When in reality, people value what's good, and then you can put a high price tag on it. They don't value something purely because it's got a high price tag. Thirdly, obviously, it's priming you to then accept and associate the high price tag of the thing that you're going to be offered at the end of this challenge with high value. Right, it's priming you. That's why they're teaching you that. One, so you think, well, I can charge a lot more for my stuff, so I'll be able to recoup the money to pay for this really expensive thing that they're going to sell me at the end. That is what they're doing with the value thing. And the reason I say that the price does not dictate value, is because I believe it's true. So, all right, let's stick with the challenge that I'm following at the moment. This challenge, there's only been one live so far of the actual challenge itself, and it was 3 hours long, and it had homework. And before that, there were lessons for you to complete, assessments for you to complete, tasks for you to do before the challenge even started. A huge number of people are doing those things, even though it's free. They are valuing it so much, even though it's free. This same person is saying, you don't value things that you don't pay for. Which one is true? Which one is true? I've got people who have paid hundreds, some people who have paid thousands for stuff from me that they've never implemented on. They didn't value it enough, or whatever was the reason behind why they never took it and implemented it. Probably because they had other priorities going on in their life, other stuff, and it fell to the wayside. I've had people that have taken free or really low cost content and run with it and valued it massively. The price tag did not dictate the value or whether they took action. That's the other thing I hear. People only take action when they've got skin in the game, they've paid money. Not true. I've got lots of people who have paid money for my course and haven't opened it or watched one lesson. Now, let's tie that back to number one. How many courses or things have you bought that you have not done? You've either done part of it or you've done none of it. Right. How much did you pay for those things? Because I bet that you've got some in there that you've paid a decent whack of money for that you haven't done. And that is not because you don't value them necessarily. It might be because they were crap. It might be because you've got other competing priorities in your life. I'd hedge a bet, though, that the ones that you paid the most money for that are sat there that you're not doing had a deadline on them, and that's why you bought them. Just think about it. Just think about it. The final sleazy sales story that I'll talk about here before I wrap this up, and as I say, I will create more content on this because I've just got so much to say about it, is that selling is the service. This is just overcoming your objections. Literally what is happening here is this person is knowing what your desires are and knowing what your objections are. And this person is they've put their entire sales funnel together to unpick your objections and push on your desires. So they know that for most people that need help with their marketing, which is what this course is, selling is really hard. So they're trying to persuade you that selling is a service so that you will then feel more comfortable selling, right? Nothing inherently wrong with that. Except it's not a service, is it? Selling is not a service. The service is the thing that you deliver at the end to help people, whether that's a digital course or in-person thing, or whatever. That is the service. Sales is an invitation, and this person even uses that word to make it all feel okay. Sales is an invitation. And ethical sales is a gentle invitation that tells people what they're going to get, who it's for, and what the outcome is likely to be. Should also tell them what they need to put into it to get that outcome. What's actually happening here, though, is we're saying sales is a service, and it's all been very pushy and very, like I say, designed to unpick all of those things and remove your agency. Actually, taking that deadline away is taking away your agency. Building up massive FOMO and pushing your adrenaline up is, it's all designed to manipulate you into action. It's exploitative. It's pushing on your desire to make a change and dismantling the things that might stop you from saying yes to their sales offer. What it's also doing, though, isn't it, is priming you that when he comes to make, or he or she, whoever's running this offer, comes to make their sales pitch and they're very pushy about it, they're doing you a service. They're doing you a favour, aren't they? Sales is a service. So you won't feel so about it when it happens. And if you do, they've done plenty of mindset work with you to talk about why that problem is a you problem and not a them problem. Yeah? It's just, it's so exploitative. It really, really makes me mad. It's so unethical that, of course, you have to make sales to make money. But as this rolls out, I mean, as I say, I've only watched one of the challenge lives. I've seen plenty of these things rolled out before, and it's always the same. There is going to be a lot of pressure on people to buy. There is going to be a lot of successful people do this. Yeah, people who, whatever your desire is, do this. Here are the objections that you've got in your mind. And some of them will be real objections, yeah? Like if you're thinking about investing, and I'll talk into this course specifically since I'm here and putting myself out and doing this anyway. If you're somebody who wants to make your business more successful, the key thing to help you make that happen is going to be motivation, time, and consistency. If you're in here in Unstuck Unite and you're watching this, you've already got all the information that you need to make your business more successful. And if you need more help, then you need to let me know that you need more help. Is paying more money or being put in a more pressurized container going to make you take more action? If it is, then fair enough, make that decision. Think about why, though, you need to pay that much money to get that motivation, because likelihood is there might be another way that you could achieve it. The final thing I'll say about this sales as a service thing is obviously it's in this person's interest for you to believe that also, and so that you will follow their high pressure sales techniques and methods. And the reason that they want you to do that is so that you make more money. That sounds good, right? They want you to make more money so that they've got more social proof for what they're pushing, so that next time you can appear as one of the stories of I made X amount of money. Yeah. And so in order for you to reach those goals, they're going to have to dismantle any feelings about being pushy with your sales, or wanting to operate your marketing in an ethical way. You will then be more likely to recommend it to other people, and so on. I know I've been on a massive rant train with this. As I say, I've got so much more to say about it. You don't have to watch this. If you've got this far, you're still watching. I hope that there's some value in here for me. For you. I'm sharing this not to shit on what other people are doing, but just because I think it's important that we all have agency, and that we're not being coerced into making decisions without seeing what's happening. If you're clear on what's happening and you still want something, like, brilliant, go for it, buy it, do the thing, make it happen. But I just see so much psychological manipulation going on. I know I've skimmed the surface of what I've seen, really. The repetition of certain things, it's a very strategic mindset journey that they take people on to unpick what they need to unpick for you to say yes to giving them money. They also need to unpick those things for you to make that amount of money. Yeah, I'm not saying that what they teach you on the other side won't work. It will if you implement it. Yeah, if you follow it and you follow exactly what they're saying. But it is going to require you to follow the things that I've just described today. And so you have to think about whether that's for you or not. Any questions, comments, please drop them.